Hey, how's it going? Dan Schinder here on Yes Shift with
Steven Schinder, the son, and he is the dad. And this is our podcast.
That's right, and this is the Yes Shift News Desk report of June 20th, 2022. And actually, we weren't planning on doing this. We were planning on doing a feature on Oliver Wakeman and his awesome collection of music. But Steve, we changed gears.
Yeah, so we're pushing that to the 28th at 7 p.m. And before then, we're also doing the Patrick Moraz Story of I episode on the 24th at 4 p.m. These are Pacific times.
Right.
But yeah, given this news article that came out last night and just some other current yes-related stuff that's going on, we were thinking, we really should do a news episode today. So that's what we're doing. And the first thing, like the article that we found that came out last night that I found this morning is related to Alan White's stolen drum kit and the suspects for that. And this is from Fox 13 Seattle, which I'll link in the comments, and it's kind of lengthy. It does go into the timeline of everything and stuff we didn't know before, but we'll read some of it. And this is the only place that the main place that this info has been posted. So
dive into it after this episode, because we got other things we're talking about. But these guys are a little raunchy, right? Not only in deeds, but they're not looking too great. King County prosecutors have charged 2 suspects in connection with the theft of a legendary drum kit owned by Yes drummer Alan White. He played, as many of you I'm sure know, he played this kit on the Plastic Ono Band. It's a Ludwig drum kit during the recording of John Lennon's Imagine song and album. The drum kit was stolen out of White's storage unit in March. Has still not been found. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame drummer died, as you know, at his home May 26th. Police would like to find the stolen drums to return to Gigi, his widow. I really hope they find the kit. Go ahead with the rest there, Steve, just for this portion, and then Steve will pop the link to the story in there for you folks to read later.
Yeah, it continues. Chad Briner and Frederick Estes Jr., who is also known as Shadow, have both been charged with burglary in the 2nd degree and 2 counts of residential burglary. They have felony warrants for their arrest. Submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers or call 911 if you know where deputies can find them. In probable cause documents submitted to the prosecutor's office, Newcastle Police Detective Brittany Bertner detailed all of the work done on the case so far. And it goes on with the timeline of events since late March. New info that neither of us knew and kind of adds more context. And at the end, it says neither suspect is in custody. They are scheduled to appear for arraignment on June 29th at the King County Courthouse. And I know that in this article it says that at one point they were able to retrieve the 90125. I think it was like a plaque or...
Was it
it was the triple platinum record for 90125, and maybe a couple other things, but that kit has still not been found. So hopefully they get this resolved. Like, I really hope that they're able to sort all of this out. But yeah, just a lot of stuff going on with that.
Yeah, what goes through the minds of someone who takes something that you can't sell? What do you get to do with it? You can't sell it to someone that's going to put it. I just don't get it. So I'm a little unclear on something. They're not in custody. They have an arraignment date. Have they've been charged? Were they ever arrested? Do they know? Are we still looking for these guys? What?
Yeah, I know that one suspect was in custody, at least. It says here April 1st, Estes Jr. and a woman were arrested after deputies responded to another break-in into the White's home, and they did some questioning and mentioned someone by the name of, or who goes by John John. Um, Claimed that they purchased a white truck with a camper from that person, and so like there are a lot of details here that confuse me, and honestly, I feel like I'm not super clear on all of these and not the best person to ask, which is why we're
Okay.
popping the link in the comments and in the podcast episode description if you're just listening to the audio. And so people can get caught up on all of that because it's a lot of details. And yeah, we just hope that this really gets sorted out
Yeah,
because
it's so
it's,
fresh that we haven't combed through it. Stephen found it this morning, and I've been in meetings until like right before we started this, so I haven't even read the whole thing. So, some developments on that, which is good, we hope, right?
right. Yeah. Again, it's just like still such a travesty that they're, they broke in and just took all that stuff. But
Yeah.
anyway, like we're all hoping for the best. In the meantime, to sort of lighten things up a bit, there were a couple really nice posts recently. Over on the Alan White Facebook page, there was a Father's Day post which said, "Happy Father's Day to all the dads who love their children and do their best to present in, or sorry, and do their best to be present in their lives.
When
Sometimes
was
it's easy."
Father's Day?
Yesterday. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. We salute you. And it's signed Gigi, Jesse, and Cassie. And the post had some nice photos of Alan with the kids when they were very little, and this family one that we have right here from like within the last several years, I believe.
Yeah. It's amazing how much Cassie looks like Gigi. Cassie looks a lot like Gigi when I first met her and Alan. She's a doctor now, which is awesome. And those pictures of them as little kids, that's about the age they were when I met them, I remember. I remember being there and I was outside talking to Alan and the kids were climbing on the van and he says, "Oh yeah, they just got the chicken pox," and I had not had the chicken pox yet. And I was like, "Oh really? Okay. Oh, I think I gotta go."
Yeah. And so yeah, I'll link that in the comments and in the description so people can see all the pics. And there's also a couple posts from Billy Sherwood. He's actually been posting quite a bit because yes, our touring, and but he's also been reminiscing. And in one of these posts from a few days ago, uh, he's shared this picture of when he and Alan White went skiing. He says this pic is from the Swiss Alps during the ladder tour. Alan and myself went skiing. It was a wonderful experience, just us two racing down the mountains all day. A memory I'll never forget. I miss him terribly and shall do my level best to honor his legacy. And Chris Squire tonight. This was the night of the first gig, like that warm up gig. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we lost both far too soon. Life is so precious and unpredictable. We live for those we've lost. He is missed. So, yeah, Billy's. We've had him on our show, and he talked about like the mission to honor Chris, and now they're honoring Alan as well. So I'm glad that they're doing that. And
Yeah.
he also shared a post. I think this was within this past day where he talked about the first time he met Chris, and it was at a Moody Blues concert at August 10th, 1988. And there's like a funny back and forth where Chris said, "You're very tall. It's good to be tall," and it was like so odd thing to say, but just it's just so nice and friendly. I guess it was the beginning of everything. So I'll link that post as well. And then we have a few magazine covers. The one that's, I guess, the newest coming up is a July issue of Bass Player magazine. I believe this is a UK based
Yeah.
magazine.
I
It
love
shows,
this photo of Chris.
yeah, it's so good. Um, like he's just such an iconic bass player, you know. So and I like what it says. Like what the captions on there says. Uh, he changed the world with his unique bass tones or something like that.
Yeah. Um, he also, yeah, his bass tones changed our world. His technique blew our minds. He also is like just the classic, not just iconic bass player, but rock star. You know, his dress, the way he performed, the way he partied. He was a friendly guy. He was of big stature on stage. You know, he just had such presence in so many ways, a great sense of humor, but just a monster musician, great singer, great songwriter. We can go on and on. He really was the whole package.
Yeah, he really was. And these others were in late May, but we didn't really get to show them on our show because of like everything that was going on at the time, you know, with Alan's passing and Vangelis as well. But this next one is from Prague Magazine, and it features, well, primarily Bill Bruford on there, like holding the guitar like he's gonna swing it. But you
It's
also
so funny.
see,
What's happening is he's swinging. He's in the foreground. If you're listening just to the audio only version of this, he's swinging. Chris is Rickenbacker like at the camera, like he's gonna take a bat swing at it. And then Chris is in the background with his hands up in the air yelling, and John's oblivious, just tinkering around on Bill's drum kit. It's actually a hilarious cover.
yeah, it's great. So this went on sale May 27th, but for the US, it goes on sale June 24th. Um, yeah, it's such a great photo, just really fun one to have on there. And there was also like within that same week that that came out, there was this issue of Beat magazine. Like the cover was revealed. It showed Jeff Downs on there wearing this jacket that I wish I had. Honestly, it like features like all these flower looking things. It's like wow, that's a really nice jacket.
Yeah, I think it's just a shirt.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's okay. It does have a zipper, I think, but yeah, it's a long sleeve and yeah, looks really nice.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, and I'm sure that each of these magazines like have some sort of feature of them like within the pages. So yeah, people can enjoy those if they get their hands on them, I suppose.
And that's a British magazine, The Beat.
Yeah, it is. All right, so now I guess we can go into talking about the current Yes Tour, the Close to the Edge 50th anniversary tour. Now that it's a few dates underway, they did the warm up gig, like we mentioned, and they've done Glasgow, Manchester, Nottingham, and are doing Liverpool today. Um, Most of the clips we saw were from the Glasgow show, but yeah, where do you want to start, Dad? Do you want to start by talking about the turn of the century video that Yes and their, I suppose, management put together, or like,
Yeah, let's start with that, and then we'll play a clip, an audience shot clip of Close to the Edge. Um, the tribute they put together was Turn of the Century, and as many of you probably know, Alan was one of the writers of that with John Anderson. It's a beautiful song. It's my Yes tearjerker song, and now it has
yeah,
even so much more meaning with that. But they had him on screens and things throughout his life. I'm not going to show the video because the video we have handy was shot on a phone vertically instead of like
yeah. There's
this.
also the official version, so like we can't.
Yeah, it has the actual soundtrack and from the album. We don't want that to get snagged from algorithms. But folks, don't do that, and I'll show you why if I can get to the right folder here in a second. Here's why. when you shoot vertically, that's why it shows up like that, and it just doesn't look good. If someone, I mean, it's like looking through a cracked open door. Think of how much more you can get in the picture if you simply just turn your phone like this instead of like this. Works for left-handed people as well. I'm right-handed, and it works for me with my left hand. So, just public service announcement, friendly reminder, don't do that. It looks lame.
Yes.
Lame. With
So
the
if you're
capital.
shooting with your phone, do it horizontally because that'll
Exactly.
be better.
As we'll demonstrate in a moment, we're going to want to show that clip of Close to the Edge.
Yeah.
This is from Glasgow, and this is with, of course, Jay Shellen on drums, Jeffrey Downs on keyboards, a newcomer, Steve Howe on guitar, Billy Sherwood on bass, and John Davison on vocals. Check this out. We'll scoot through this, but I picked a fun starting point. Dig it, turn it up. Oops, it didn't save the starting place. Here we go. We're back. So, Steve, what do you think? And folks, chime in. You know, it's a different yes. We know that. I don't know if yes is still a yes without Patrick Moraz, but
yeah, like if anyone is asking like, wait, who are these people in yes or not? Like, I guess I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, where have you been
on the ship? Like, yeah, but That aside, so when it comes to audience shot videos from concerts, sometimes the audio quality can be a bit dodgy and it'll make some people skeptical, but it can be like what they use, like the phone or the camera or whatever. And so,
Where they're seated, you know.
yeah, and I keep that in mind when watching these. And I chose this clip for us to feature because it's one of the better looking ones and better sounding ones. Like it feels more like actually being there, I think. And just from looking at some of these clips, it does look like they have a lot of energy and the lighting and visuals, like the video wall stuff, it looks amazing. Like if I was there, I'd probably be super into it. What do you think of this clip?
Yeah, I do agree with that. It's not only audience shot, but people are seated and you're looking through two people in front of you. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like you're sitting there on the floor seats. That was kind of cool. I was a little surprised that Billy wasn't singing along with John Davison in that part the way Chris would be.
Hmm.
Maybe because it's new in the tour, they're still kind of stuff falling into place. If you think about it, this came together pretty quickly. They rehearsed for 4 days. They did that pre-tour show, and now they're on tour. You know,
Yeah.
and stuff morphs and gels and all solidifies. You know, during the course of the first 50 shows, if they're doing 52, you know, stuff just goes that way. But all in all, I think they sound really good. It was interesting to hear Jeff Downs play the solo the way he did on the organ, as well as the synth part, you know, kind of had his own twist to it while at the same time honoring the bullet points of the original version and the live classic versions that we're familiar with.
Yeah, for the Glasgow show, I did notice, and again, this could be them still trying to acclimate on Close to the Edge and like on bits of Close to the Edge and bits of Does It Really Happen. I noticed that John Davison got the lyrics mixed up a little. Like instrumentally, it still like sounds
Who even
really
John did
tight.
that.
And yeah, John Anderson did that as well, so it's like whatever. But yeah, it was just a interesting thing I noticed because, I mean, to be fair, in the past however long John Davison's been in the band, I can't really recall a time when he's messed up the lyrics just from what I've seen. And messed up sounds harsh, like you know, a little flub, you know?
Augmented.
Yeah.
I've seen John Anderson do it twice on two different tours. The beginning, the first lyrics of Gates of Delirium at the Hollywood
Yeah.
Bowl with the orchestra, and the orchestra stopped. Everyone stopped, and Chris slid over and leaned over, whispered in his ear, and they started singing, and then everyone started up again. But before that, on the Open Your Eyes tour, he forgot the lyrics to a couple times in Close to the Edge, actually, and in Close to the Edge, he backed up and tripped over a monitor, and you can hear the breath being sucked out of the room because he was still kind of recovering from back surgery, if I remember correctly. And Steve Howe's tech shoes ran over and picked him up, and then he kept, kept going. But they're human. They're human, and this
Yeah.
is why some people, even Geddy Lee, Ozzy Osbourne, well, Ozzy, you can understand. Why they have their lyrics on a screen.
Yeah.
Isn't
And
that wait, I just thought of something. Isn't that interesting that they can remember all the music? They don't need the sheet music in front of them, but many of them need the lyrics. I find that interesting. The lyrics are just another instrument.
right, yeah. Um, Sorry, I lost my train of thought there
Sorry.
as you were like saying that, but um, regarding like other parts of the set list. Before I forget, I saw that some other review mentioned that South Side of the Sky might have been at the Nottingham show. I've not been able to find a clip to corroborate that, but I mean, that wasn't at these first couple of shows, so maybe they are changing things up if that is indeed true. But going off of what we know for sure that they've played. Um, Again, no opportunity necessary. Has a lot of energy. Um, and well, let's talk about On the Silent Wings of
Yeah, I
Freedom.
was just going to mention that. You mentioned earlier, and I agree that it's more abridged than we expected. I wish
Yeah,
they
it's like
played the whole thing to
four.
honor both Chris and Alan with a song that's really their song.
Yeah, it's about 4 minutes long, this rendition, and it's like half the length of the original, which it really caught me off guard seeing the video of that for the first time. They basically started from just right before the lyrics, and after the first set of lyrics, they dive right into the next set of lyrics. So it's like really cutting out some really good instrumental bits. And like I don't know what the deal is there. Like I don't know if they haven't really nailed it down yet, or if they're gonna keep trying until they can maybe do the full version. It's better than nothing, I guess, but it's not my preferred version that I would go to. You know, I want to hear the full thing. Just like how whenever Roundabout gets played, we'd prefer for that to be played in full rather than the abridged versions that they've done every now and then.
Exactly, cutting out that whole middle section.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so basically the whole, excuse me, instrumental intro of On the Silent Wings of Freedom is not there. Um, Yeah, I don't know. And, so could be watching or listening. We don't mean any ill will, guys. It's just curious. It's curious, Josh. You could do all of Relayer, all of Close to the Edge, all these big albums, but why not all of On the Silent Wings of Freedom? It's a little curious.
yeah. I don't know if it's kind of maybe it's kind of tricky, but I don't know. Like my
Every Yes song's
no,
tricky.
well, yeah. Like my note to them would be, please keep trying. We love this song. We love this music. So if you could try playing it in full, that'd be great.
It's a great
Um,
song.
yeah, we are glad that you dug it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm happy for the assortment of songs, to have something off a drama is great. To go way back to No Opportunity, there's some really neat. It's in a nice eclectic assortment of songs, which is cool.
yeah, and I feel like from what I saw of the Ice Bridge and Dare to Know, like even if it doesn't sound exactly like I'm there watching those videos, it still feels like there's enough energy behind those, at least from like in my opinion.
Yeah, and
But
what'd you think of the live translation of those or interpretation?
I thought they were translated pretty well.
Yeah, me too.
Um, yeah, which is great. Like, they're representing those songs from the quest. But again, like I've said before, I would like for them to throw in a couple more from that album as well.
Yeah.
Um, and not at the expense of like swapping the quest songs out. Like, if anything, I would swap out a few of the classic things that have been played over and over, like time and time again.
Yeah.
And as for the close to, and again, Heart of the Sunrise, energetic as usual, and Close to the Edge, the album, I feel like they did a nice job playing it, in album order,
Yeah.
because I don't think they've ever played it in album order before this tour.
Right. Last time they played it in backwards album order. The last time they did it in
Yeah,
full, right? Yeah.
yeah, back in 2014 or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Um, And yeah, from what I've heard, there have been a bunch of reviews posted, like different articles, and the few that I've read seem mostly positive. They mentioned that there are a few glitches here and there, but it's pretty good overall. People seem to be enjoying the Roger Dean stuff, of course,
Yeah.
and um,
I want to
yeah,
mention something else while we're on the topic of Yes Live.
sure.
You turned me on to something that I was totally unaware of, and that was the Trevor, excuse me, Trevor Horn and Friends show in which it was,
Oh yeah, in 2004.
yeah, Chris Squire, Alan White, Jeff Downs, uh,
Steve Howe.
Steve Howe, thank you, Trevor Rabin, and they played "Owner of a Lonely Heart," and they had an
and
orchestra.
Cinema.
Yeah, Cinema. The beginning of "Take It Easy" or whatever that is.
Oh, Make It Easy.
Make It
Yeah.
Easy, thanks. And into "Owner of a Lonely Heart" with an orchestra and a chorale. That I think is my favorite version of Cinema and "Owner of a Lonely Heart," which I was surprised. Trevor singing lead through the whole thing. Um, I loved that version. It rocks. It's great and it's clean. It's technically perfect. And I was a little confused telling Steve, saying, "Why? What am I not remembering? Being that there's Jeff Downs, but this is 2004. Like, am I totally forgetting a whole, incarnation of Yes or something?" But why don't you explain?
Right. Well, first off, it's been a while since I watched it, so I couldn't remember if there was an orchestra or not. But in any case, this concert was maybe a couple months after the 35th anniversary tour ended. And there was this thing honoring Trevor Horn, like his years as a producer and musician. I think it was called the Prince's Trust,
It was at the
the
Princess
event.
Trust. You're right.
Yeah, yeah. And so they got all these people that Trevor Horn has worked with, all these different artists, and they each did a song or more. I know that Trevor Horn and Jeff Downs did a bit of Bugles stuff, like Vale killed the radio star, and there might have been another number. But yeah, they got Trevor Rabin, Steve Howe, Jeff Downs, Alan White, and Chris Squire to play those songs you mentioned. I'm not sure what was going on with John Anderson and Rick Wakeman. Maybe it was due to John's health issues at the time. Like I know the 35th anniversary tour kind of took a toll on him, and he needed a break and needed to do acoustic stuff instead.
Well, what threw me off is when Trevor does a really nice introduction, Trevor Horn, to everybody and how much of a fan he was of Yes and Chris's bass playing, and that's why he became a bass player and all this stuff. But when he introduces the band, he says, and Jeffrey Downs, who's now in the lineup, and it makes me wonder, were they maybe going to go forward that way or something? Or
Yeah, it is interesting because I know that Rick, at the time during the hiatus from 2004 to 2007, it on Yes World, it seemed like Rick might still be in the band, but it's possible that maybe that far back in 2004 he was iffy. And of course, we know that eventually they went with Oliver Wakeman because Steve Howe really wanted him, and uh, so yeah, I do kind of wonder now
watch
that
it
you mention
again.
it if maybe like I don't know if he means part of this lineup for this concert or if maybe they were trying to work something out because I know that in 2005 they were trying to do something called the More Drama Tour where Alan's band White and maybe a couple other artists like The Sin possibly were going to go out and tour together, play some drama songs, and I
Oh,
think
wow.
Jeff Downs would have been part of that. So like I don't know, it's
Interesting.
yeah,
I,
but
I actually still have it on my laptop. I enjoyed it so much. I'll probably watch it again because it's great. Maybe put the link to that in there for people to check out. It for me to say it's my favorite version of both Cinema and Owner of a Lonely Heart. That's saying a lot.
yeah, especially like all that time after the 9012
Yeah,
live tour. Yeah,
yeah. And you got Steve Howe chopping away on rhythm. It's really cool. It was great to see
right.
all of them together too.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. What's next?
Yeah, so kind of getting back to Close to the Edge related stuff. Over on Yes World, our friend who's been on the show a couple of times, Dave Watkinson, his article got posted on Yes World, and it's about the basically the first show of the UK leg of the original Close to the Edge tour. So headline: The original Yes Close to the Edge Crystal Palace Bowl show poster, 2nd September 1972. and Dave goes into detail about what was like at the time and seeing this poster, which I don't know if we have, and you might be showing on the
It's up.
thing, but okay, yeah, and it's kind of interesting because we had the Roger Dean Yes logo by then, but it's still like this more normal looking Yes logo that's kind of just it just looks like a normal ordinary like word,
Right.
and like it's not that fancy of a poster, but it's a nice bit of history, and apparently it hadn't been seen like online before this article got posted on Yes World. And this article also has like a lot of other neat memorabilia on there, so I'll go ahead and post that article in the comments and also put in the audio description afterward.
Do we know yet, Steve, if there's a bootleg version of that show where that song first appeared live? And Alan, for that matter?
Well, the first show that Alan played with them was in Dallas, and there are bootleg recordings, but they're kind of muddy.
Okay.
They can be found on YouTube.
Okay.
And yeah, so yeah, I definitely encourage people to check out this article. It's really well done. Lots of neat photos on there. And going back to Roger Dean, so there are a few Roger Dean updates. He's actually been very active on the Facebook page, making all these posts about different things he worked on over the years. There's one about some OC Bisa art, which is really neat. But he said that the Yes Tour is underway, and he's doing the exhibition while he's on that. And he also shared this more modern looking Close to the Edge painting, which we'll be showing on here. What do you think of this?
I love it. I want to be there. I think it's beautiful.
Okay, are you showing it on the
Yeah.
screen?
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Okay, I might be behind.
There's a delay. Yeah, there's like depending on your internet connection, there could be as much as a 20-second delay. But it's on the screen. I love the foliage in the foreground. Then there's the mist in the canyon, and then there's the edge.
Yeah. It's like the original Close to the Edge painting is kind of further away in the background, and in the foreground you have all these rock formations that look more modern Roger Dean, and it's really neat. It's like zooming out and seeing that same world, which
exactly
I really love.
Yeah.
He also posted a video where he addressed the age-old speculation of whether the rock formations on the covers of Tales and Relayer link up.
And
so his wording was kind of confusing to me, but I think what he was getting at was that they are separate rock formations, separate paintings, but they might be inspired by the same place that he's visited in Cornwall that has like this pathway and a rock next to it. So at the very least, they have the same real life inspiration, even if they don't necessarily like link up and not like the same rock formation.
It'd be so neat to have like a map, like the map, thinking of Lord of the Rings, the map of Middle Earth. It'd be so neat to have a map of all these places that Roger has painted on the map, but then to have the rest of the map linking them and virtually go on that journey from the Relayer site to the Tales site and so on.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Just all the stuff he's done as part of that same universe. You could even have like the Asia pyramids in there somewhere. Yeah,
anything that's, well, I guess everything almost is pretty much a geographical location or reference. That'd be so cool.
Yeah. He also announced the Secret Pathway exhibition that he and his daughter Freya are doing. This will be in San Francisco at the Haight Street Art Center. and it'll be open from August 25th to November 6th. Oh, that's my
Hate.
birthday. The day that
Yeah.
it ends.
Yeah. Hate Street. You've heard of Hate
Okay.
Ashbury? Yeah. Yeah, that's your birthday.
Yeah.
We
So
should
yeah.
go.
Oh, I would be so down to go to that. That'd be great.
Huh. Let's
um,
talk about that.
yeah. Well, we'll see what we can do. And more recently, well, I don't know if it's more recently, but like very recent, I was watching this new movie that came out on Paramount Plus called Jerry and Marge Go Large. And it's based on a true story. It's about this couple that plays the lottery in a few different towns. And even though the movie might not really be like, I don't know if I'm the target audience. Like, I thought it was kind of okay, but it has interesting actors in there. Like Bryan Cranston plays the husband, and Rainn Wilson from The Office is
Two
also in
reasons
there.
alone to watch it.
Yeah. Oh, and Michael McKean, the guy who played Chuck on Better Call Saul, is also a character in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, a couple things caught my eye. So I was watching this movie while working on stuff on my laptop, and and I've posted these on our Facebook page,
I
which
wish I had them to pull up right now. I don't.
yeah, I'll link them later. But
Okay.
yeah, so I was working on my laptop, and then I glanced at the screen, and then I had to do a double take because I was like, wait, what the hell? Because like Rainn Wilson, this was about like 50 minutes or so in. He was wearing a Yes T-shirt. It was like white, but with framing of the Pathways painting from Yes songs, and yeah, the Yes logo at the top, and it was just so surreal. Like
And
just
I love that it was such a deep cut, too, you know?
yeah. Well, later in the movie, there's an even deeper cut. So like an hour and 20 or 25 minutes in, somewhere around there, he's wearing it's kind of obscured by this jacket he's wearing over it, but he's wearing a Union tour shirt, or maybe it's the Union album itself. Like it definitely has that logo on it, and I think the Rock Formations. But yeah, it's Laurent Picard, from one of the Yes groups, pointed it out to me, said it was in the trailer, and then I went looking for it in the movie. It was like yeah, these shirt sightings were a half hour apart in the movie, and it was just yeah, it just took me off guard. Like I wasn't expecting these Yes shirts.
It'd be funny
And,
if they were like those scenes were exactly the length of Revealing Science of God apart or something like that.
yeah,
Or close to the
um,
edge.
and actually, like a few years ago, there was that remake of A Star Is Born with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga, and there was
Yeah.
a scene a half hour into
Oh,
that
yeah,
where
she's wearing a yes shirt.
yeah, she's wearing a Tormato shirt. Like it's got the Tormato logo, but it also has like the band lineup. So I guess it's like the back cover of Tormato on the front of the shirt. And I've been told that apparently in this old movie called Roller Coaster from 1977, another Yes fan named Steve Wenner was telling me that there's a brief moment where someone's wearing a Yes shirt, and
Huh.
I tried asking like where it was, but he might get back to me if he can find it. But yeah, and I also remember in this movie called Rubber, which involves a sentient tire that kills people. It's a surreal comedy movie, but there's a character in there who has a Yes Union Tour T-shirt as well. So yeah, a bunch of different places where you can find Yes shirts and film. Weirdly,
Funny.
yeah.
That'd be a great coffee table book.
Yeah, a book about Yes shirt sightings
Uh,
in film.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Um, but yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything. I do want to give a quick shout out because I forgot to like previously to the
To me?
progressive out
Oh,
to the progressive alternative. Several weeks back, they did a show where it was a tribute to Alan White after his passing, and they showcased some music from stuff he's worked on, like his band White and Levin Torn White. There's a bit of Ramshackled in it, which we've actually talked about recently, and of course some Yes stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's pretty much all the news stuff. I know John Anderson's Close to the Edge tour will start sometime next month, so it'll be interesting drawing comparisons to like how he and the Rock Academy do it compared to how Yes
Yeah.
what the set list is like.
Definitely. And on, as Steven said earlier, on Thursday, this
Yeah,
Thursday.
or I think Friday the 24th.
Yeah, Friday the 24th, 4 p.m. Pacific U.S. time, 7 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. We're going to be celebrating the birthday of the longest standing keyboard player of Yes, Patrick Moraz.
Wait, it wasn't Eddie Jobson? What?
Oh, that's right. Or Francis Monkman.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be talking about his solo album Story of I as part of our series we've been doing of first solo albums that Yes members did since joining Yes.
Yeah.
That'll be fun to do. I haven't listened to